Today's episode is presented by Clark's. Clark's story began almost 200 years ago when Cyrus and James Clark made a slipper from sheepskin. At the time, it was groundbreaking, a combination of invention and craftsmanship that's remained at the heart of what Clark's does. From the very beginning, Clark's has always thought differently. Brilliant ideas are what set Clark's apart. We are teaming up with Clark's and Podgo to bring you up to 30% off select items, including the iconic Clark's Desert Boot, by going to podgo.co/Clarks. That's podgo.co/Clarks.
Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 259. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? Listen, I'm on the hunt for a Series X. Even as we speak, I have like 5 browsers open for Target, Walmart, Newegg, GameStop, and Best Buy.
Yep. My coworker was trying to get one on a Walmart, and I was like, "Best of luck, thoughts and prayers. It's going to be tough." Walmart apparently had this payment plan program thing where you get
they had the Xbox All Access.
Right.
So it was the only way you can get it. I don't want to do that. I don't want them to run my credit.
Yeah, I mean, you do get a little bit of a credit thing. Yeah.
I'm trying to refinance my house, so I don't need them to ding my credit. Because every time, which is weird as a side note, every time they check your credit, it's a knock on your credit. Right?
Exactly.
So
how are you supposed to get credit when they keep dogging your credit? Yeah. It's
it's like a catch-22. So I don't want them to ding my credit, to check my credit, which is great credit. I would get the all access, like 100%. I would qualify.
You've got the best credit. The best credit.
I got the best credit. I just don't need. Yeah, I passed my credit. I passed my credit score with a 65. I just don't want them to check my credit.
I know. It's so annoying, and it takes forever to get back too, right? It takes you a couple months for that to get off the credit score.
And even if I did qualify, paying like $35 every month for like 2 years or 3 years or whatever it is, I'm paying like $800.
Yeah, I hear you. No, it's a lot. You don't want to be beholden to that. By that time, there's going to be a new Switch out.
Yeah, it's another monthly bill I got to worry about. So.
All right. Well, welcome to the Old Timers Podcast.
I just want the console.
I know.
I just want to buy the console.
I know.
I'll buy a bundle. I'll buy it with Madden. Screw it. Okay.
You buy it with Madden.
You got me. I'll buy it with Madden. I'll do it.
Yeah. So I'm actually kind of in the same boat. Although I think I'm going to hold off on the PS5 because I'm trying to do some home improvement stuff, and it's going to be expensive. Still shopping around, figuring out what the best price is for everything and how to keep it down. But I don't necessarily think another $500 purchase. As much as I want the PS5, as much as I'm very envious that you have one, you have a disc version, and I want it, I think I'm going to hold off. Not to mention that I don't want to spend $800 for the bundle. So,
okay, Tim Allen. You need home improvement.
That's right, man. It's going to improve the valuation of my home.
Now, you know what? I mean, you're building a back deck, which brings the value to your home up, and is video game related, because you're definitely during the summer going to have some video game parties outdoors.
Oh, you better believe it. Come by with the Switch, hang outside. All right. Okay. I got some good plans for it, but it's going to cost some money. So.
All right. Let's get this show on the road, Dave. We have an awesome show this week. We're going to talk about the first state of play in 2021 from Sony. We're going to talk about Anthem Next, officially canceled. It's over. No more Iron Man Simulator.
That's a shame.
Well, let's begin with, can you believe that the Nintendo 3DS is 10 years old?
That is bananas. Yeah, 2011. I remember playing Street Fighter 4 at Penny Arcade that year. And it was a weird experience, but it was also super cool. It was like that and Steel Diver.
Handheld? Let me ask you a question. I have Street Fighter for the 3DS, but I haven't played it yet. Like, is it like a fluid? Like, is it a good port? Like, is it a fluid experience, or is it slow down?
It's kind of unique because they also like do it in this like perspective shift thing, right? So it's not necessarily like side by side. It kind of goes into the distance to kind of give you the 3D. Like they really kind of like leaned into the 3D. And granted, it's been a while, so I don't know if they have a flat 2D style mode, but I think it's like kind of altered a little bit. So it's cool. It's not as good as the home. It's not as good as the home port, right? It's not as good as the Xbox 360 or PS3 version, but I don't know. I mean, it could be worth trying out. I mean, it may be good something for a Saturday morning retro show to go back and play. But
I have so many different versions of the 3DS, right? 3DS slash 3DS XL slash 2DS slash the new 3DS XL.
Well, new 3DS and new 3DS XL.
slash not the clamshell 2DS. It's so many different versions.
Yeah.
I think I have more versions of the DS. Let's just say DS.
Sure, right? DS family.
Than any other console. I literally have like 10 to 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 even different versions of it.
And that's not even like half, right? Because they put out like you want to talk about the Animal Crossing, the Mario and Luigi one, the Pokemon, the Zelda.
But even talking about the special editions, then no, I only have. I want to say I only have like maybe 3 or 4 special editions.
Okay.
I wanted to get the 2DS XL Pokemon, not the Pokemon, Pikachu edition.
Yeah.
I was right there when it came out, but it was either it was that or the Zelda version. I got the Zelda one. I said I'll come back maybe next month I'll get the Pikachu edition. Didn't get it. It's like $500 worth. It's like worth $500 now. Still got it. Years ago.
Hindsight and that 2020 vision, man.
I know.
It's a killer.
I got the Pokeball one. And remember, I talked about it in the show. It has like the button that doesn't do anything.
I was just gonna say. We talked about it at length on and off the mics. Oh, that
should have done something. Light up or push to reset the system. It should have done something. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm still mad about that.
Right.
I'm still mad about it.
I understand.
So, keeping with the 3DS news, Nintendo is ending repairs of the original 3DS and 3DS XL. But it's not because it's 10 years old. Because remember, I mean, they supported the Wii, fixing the Wii for the longest time, even, throughout the Wii U life cycle. And the PS2, they just stopped repairing. Right,
we talked about it last year or the year before. Yeah, 20 years of support. It's crazy.
But it's just because of part shortages, because of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Wow.
So.
Wow. That's crazy. I wonder if they're going to come back and be like, look, we have parts. We're going to go ahead and fix it again.
No, I think once they end it, it's over. Like, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to, shift focus. Maybe to a Switch Pro. Who knows? Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's been my damn prediction. It's been my damn E3, prediction, or what do we think is going to happen this year prediction for the longest. It has to come through. Has to come true eventually.
All right, did you ever watch a pup named Scooby-Doo when you were a kid?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So you remember when Fred always picked who was the bully in school? I forgot his name.
Oh.
There was like a bully that was in their school, and every time there was like a ghost or something, he always said it's him.
And it was never him.
And it was never him until the one episode where he said, "All right, I'm not going to say it. And then it was being him. And he was so mad.
The twist.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot his name. But you keep announcing Switch Pro, and I keep announcing
the PS
Vita 2 or the PSP 2, and the day I stop is going to be the year I stop is going to be the year they announce it. And I'm going to be so pissed.
Yes. So you know what? It's it's a bit of like Murphy's Law. You have to just stop wanting it to be, and then it will just happen. Right? Nature will do its thing and go, okay, now it's time. And you'll be the happiest man on earth because you'll get a PSP 2 or a Vita 2.
Oh man. That I would be the happiest, man. I would do a backflip. Unfortunately, it's probably never going to happen. So, all right. One more thing. I just want to say, this could be a gamer grief, but I'm not going to make it as a gamer grief. It's just going to be info only. Mm-hmm. As I got to give like a bad apple to Activision and Call of Duty, because if you want the Call of Duty experience and you had an OG PS4, you're going to have to clear out everything in your hard drive because it's going to take up all 500 gigs.
Yep. So their version, right? So, okay. I got some thoughts, Dan. I got some thoughts. Let me go ahead and take the stage for a second. One, the game that, well, I don't even know because there's so many different ways to get it, right? If you buy let's say, Black Ops Cold War, right?
Okay.
And you want everything with it, right? You want Warzone, you want zombies, you want Modern Warfare, you want the Cold War specific multiplayer, and you want the single player. The disc that you bought is useless. It's just a license key at this point. So, however much data
game. It's like a Telltale game disc, then. Right?
It's 100% a Telltale game disc.
It gives you access to download it.
So if you want all 5, I think it's 5 different things that you can download separately. Can't fit it on a base PS4 console. You have to get an external hard drive. That's at least 750 gigs. I would say a gig. And then put it on there and then play it off the hard drive. That's crazy. You can barely fit it on a PS5. PS5's got 667 gigabytes. It's interesting how they shied away from 666. 667 on a PS5.
Well, who's to blame for this?
One game.
Ultimately.
One game. Who's to blame for it? Well, who made the game, right? Was it Treyarch or like Infinity Ward or Raven? I think Raven had a hand in it too. There's a bunch of different companies.
Do you just blame the do you blame the publisher? Do you blame Activision? Who do you blame?
I blame
the console makers for not putting 2 gigs, 2 terabytes in all the systems.
Yeah. No, Sony and Microsoft are definitely to blame for the small hard drives and the fact that the OS takes up like a fourth of the hard drive, and that's for both systems. You have to blame the publisher for the tight timelines, right? Because they got to get the game out and they got to make it look good and it's got to perform well. And, optimizations are a thing, right? But storage space optimization is probably pretty low on the list, I would think. And then, you also got to blame the developers, right? They're certainly at fault for saying, like, well, we want the highest res textures, right? We want everyone to have the best experience, right? You're not going to go back and say, Are we using this code? Can we optimize this code? Can we like reuse it in like meaningful ways to not bloat up the storage size? Like find ways to optimize the textures, right? I know Microsoft was making strides with their a smart delivery, where you would only get the assets that you need for your particular device, right? So Series X gets the highest, the best assets. Series S gets lower assets. One X and the original Xbox get different assets, right? I believe that's how smart delivery is supposed to work, and that's supposed to help a little bit. But apparently that's broken too. That's not working at 100%. So, yeah, I don't know. But I'll tell you this: it's bad news bears for the end user who can only put one game on their damn hard drive.
I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous. You need all 500 gigs. That's, I mean, words can't express how shocked I am, because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? It's crazy.
You know what? I'm glad I only play campaign mode.
Right. You don't need to download all the other stuff.
I don't need to download any of that crap.
I mean, look. Zombies is great, man. You have to play Zombies with me.
Well,
Zombies
there's actually
cool.
a rumor out there that they're working on a Call of Duty campaign that's nothing but zombies.
Oh,
I'm
really?
down for that. Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's see if that actually comes through.
Right.
So, but
That'd be
Dave,
awesome. Mm-hmm.
But Dave, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Oh, Dan, I've been getting into
and did you have to delete any games to get these games on your hard drive so you could play?
Yeah, actually, that's actually funny you said that, because I was just playing the Outriders demo, which came out I think yesterday, and Outriders demo is big, right? I think it's about 100 gigs, maybe a little bit less. Yeah, for the demo. So I had to move, because I have the external hard drive. So I moved Assassin's Creed Origin off, which took like a half an hour at least. And then I had to download the Outriders demo, which took at least a half an hour to an hour. And then I got to play it the next day. So, yeah. Like, I'm at, like, capacity, right? And, sure, I got Red Dead on there.
You playing it on the X? You playing it on the Series X?
Oh, yeah, playing it on the Series X, yeah. I mean, I got a lot of stuff on my hard drive, to be fair. There's Red Dead 2, there's Assassin's Creed Origins, Unity, and the latest Valhalla. And granted, a lot of those I'm not playing. So you could say, let's go ahead and move them off. All right, put them on the external hard drive. But you want to get the benefit. You want to get the speed of the internal SSD, and you want the enhancements, if there are any Series X enhancements, which they need to be on the internal hard drive to get. So it's a dance. It's a dance. But Outriders is cool. If they have it on the PS5, I would say download it, because it does have crossplay. So I think we can team up together and play that game.
What type of game is Outriders? I knew about Outriders coming out, but I just never paid any attention to it.
I was unsure until I booted the game up. It feels like The Division in a way, because you basically land on this planet, or you're on this planet with your like small crew. You go and make like a base camp, and you talk to the captain, I guess, or the sheriff, or whatever it is. He's got a cowboy look to him. And he like tells you some stuff. He says, go over here, talk to this guy, do the combat training, go over here, talk to this lady, learn about the radar. And then they kind of get you off on like a mission. You got to go and find the beacon and put the beacon back in proper order. But like it shares a lot with The Division, I think. You get a lot of ammo, which you can refill at ammo crates. Right, you get a main weapon, an assault rifle, and a sidearm, which I'm assuming that you can kind of swap out your equipment as you go. You get better equipment, but I don't know. I'm only like a few minutes into it, but it looks cool. The voice acting is kind of on point. I like the cutscene animation's good. There's some graphical issues with it. It's another month or two before it comes out. So I think they need to put a little more polish in there, but yeah, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I was having a good time with it. Beyond that, I downloaded Donut County, right?
Never heard of that. What is that?
Really? It's reverse Katamari.
How is that even possible? Wait.
So Katamari is
reverse calamari. Are you trying to get smaller? You're a huge ball trying to get smaller?
you're a hole trying to get bigger. So you're sucking things into the middle of the earth.
Oh, wait. There was a mobile game like that I was playing.
That's Donut. That's probably, well, they have a bunch of knockoffs. Maybe you were playing Donut County. I don't know, because they have it on mobile, I think.
There was a mobile game I was playing that was just like that, and I was trying to suck everything into the hole.
Yep.
Which, in retro, I don't know if I want to say that again. It comes out so wrong. It comes out so wrong every time you say it.
I wasn't. I was trying to be an adult about it, but yeah, no, I understand. Right.
All right.
It's
okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's got great indie vibes. You know, it's got a good art aesthetic to it. And it actually has a story. Funny enough, the Donut County, in Donut County there is a donut shop, and there is someone who sells donut holes, which is what the holes are, and the holes suck everything into the middle of the earth, and then they like realize slowly that this person is killing the earth by sucking up all the trash. So you have to fix the issue. It's okay. I don't know. It's super cute. I'm having a good time with it. I'm pretty sure I'm almost done with it. It's a pretty quick game, I think. But good stuff. And then also Xenocrisis, because it's a good pick up and play twin stick shooter.
Okay.
So,
all right.
How about you, Dan?
I went a little old school. I have the OG PS1. And I was playing a bunch of games, trying to figure out what I wanted to do for our Saturday morning retro in March. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't reading a lot of the disc, and I was getting upset. And I'm like, why is it not reading these discs? Right? I've Spider-Man and Strider 2, and I'm like, these games are kind of worth some money, especially Strider 2. It's like over $100. I'm like, why is it not? Is my disc counterfeit? Did I get gypped? Right? Like, or is it damaged in any way? So I actually have the actual PS1, the mini version.
Oh yeah, PSONE.
Remember they called it the PS1.
Mm-hmm. The white one, right?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I plugged it in, and all the games worked. So there's something wrong with the disc. I mean, not the disc. There's something wrong with the laser on my OG PlayStation.
Wow.
So I've been playing. I played.
Is it the OG first one with the AV outs on the back?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong because it plays certain games and certain games it doesn't play. It doesn't matter if you clean it or hit it with a compressed air. It plays certain games and certain games it doesn't play. But the mini PS1 so far plays every game I pop into it. So I always clean it first just to make sure it's nice and clean, no debris or scuffs on it.
Right.
So I played a little bit of Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man on the PS1.
Oh, the Activision ones?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
The first one. Mm-hmm. I could see why it was like revolutionary when it first came out, but it is kind of hard to go back to. It is hard to go back to that.
Right. There's a hell of a ton of fog. The draw distance is minimal.
Well, I don't care about that. It's just.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't get just the game mechanics. It's kind of hard to go back to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, we have the amazing.
I want to walk around and look around with the right and the left stick. But you're doing everything with one stick, which is terrible.
Right, because this was before the DualShock thing was like everybody had one, so they had to make support for the DualShock controller.
So I played Strider 2, almost beat it, but I didn't have a memory card in there, and I couldn't save it in the middle of the game. Mm-hmm. So these are the trials and tribulations of an old gamer, right? Remember those? You got to make sure the memory card is in before you hit play, because you want to make sure you save it as soon as you start playing, because you can't save it in the middle.
All right. See, even the PlayStation 1 had storage issues. It's universal.
Then I did play a little bit of Concrete Jungle and Genie, right? No,
Concrete Genie, yeah. The kind of the painting game, yeah.
I got it on. It's free if you're a PlayStation Plus member and you have a PS5. It's really good. I played a little bit of it. I want to say like last year. I wanted to play it in VR, and I just never got back to it because I was playing other games. So I figured I'll give it a shot. I put like 2 hours into it, and it's not bad. I mean, it's a painting puzzle game, and your enemies are like bullies in this town. You're trying to light that. This is like a bad part of town, right? In movies, the South Side is always like the bad part of town.
Yeah, always. Yeah. It's the wrong side of the tracks. There you go, South Side.
Yeah. So this is like the South Side. Think of it like that. And it's always dark and dreary and abandoned buildings and stuff. And you're trying to light everything up and paint everything. And you're trying to light up all the lights and stuff. It gets a little tricky because you have to figure out what you have to paint and what you have to do. And you do have to move things around, but you have bullies that are in the town. So, if they see you, they're going to try to, obviously bully you, beat you up, and then, you sort of lose and have to go back to the next checkpoint. So I have to be like Spider-Man in some cases and just stay on the roof when you can't see me.
Right.
But as you progress, you can't exactly stay on the roof. It's like, I can't paint this place. I'm too far away. I have to go to the ground and move.
Right. You got to get down to where the wall is. Yeah. Interesting. So, okay. You're saying it's only available for PS5 with PlayStation
No. It's
Plus.
a PS4 game.
Okay.
That if you have PlayStation Plus, if you're a PS Plus subscriber on the PS5, it's part of that PS5, the PS4 games collection.
But only on the PS5, right? You can't. I couldn't get it on the PS4, even though I'm a Plus member.
No, you have to buy it.
Interesting.
It's that to entice people to buy the PS5. It's get these games for free.
I don't think people need any more enticing, but okay, I see what they're trying to do.
And lastly, I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers on a Switch. I got this.
Shoot, good. Well, what are your thoughts? Because it's a Muso game, right?
It is a Muso game, but first and foremost, it's a Persona game before Muso game. It's a Persona game. I know exactly what you're saying. Yes, if you play Persona, then you will understand this. It's a Persona game more so than a Muso game. To be honest, I mean, it's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of dialogue, and the story is just as weird as the Persona 5 story. I'm sorry, it's just as weird. This story is it makes no sense.
Yeah,
but I guess Persona stories never make any real sense.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Persona game, if it wasn't crazy balls to the wall.
The end. I guess the ultimate boss. She's controlling people's desires in the shadow world.
Okay.
But like men fall all over head over heels in love with her, and she treats them like crap. She takes your desires and twists them, right? Something along those lines. I don't know. It's so hard to keep up with the dialogue because it's more so a Persona game, which is like a movie, right? And then you get into the combat, and then it's
the Muso game, right?
Muso game, yeah. When you actually get to that part.
Okay.
So
interesting. All right.
But you have to actually pay attention to the dialogue because there are sections where you have to search and talk to people and you're searching for certain thing, like you're trying to gather information, and they give you clues to where you have to go. But if you're not paying attention, then you got to do every single thing. You got to go to every store, every person
to figure out what the thing is.
Figure out what you need so you can progress to the next section. So you actually do have to pay attention. So it's a game that you need to dedicate yourself. I only put 10 days in, and if you play Persona, you know what that means. So it's a good game. If you love Persona, it is more Persona. It's more Persona.
It's going on my list.
So, all right, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll get into the top gaming news of last week.
This is Justin from the Lit Gaming Arena podcast, and you're listening to Rated G for Gamers.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We have to start with the Sony State of Play 2021. I gotta be honest, I wasn't expecting anything major. I mean, it's February, right? Even if it wasn't the zombie apocalypse outside, we don't really get major news in February, right? Like,
No.
At the, we're salivating for E3, like little E3 rumors are coming out. Even if we got a Nintendo Direct or Sony announces something, or a State of Play, it's never anything major. So I think people got all hyped for no reason. And maybe these companies, because there's a rumored Xbox event that's supposed to be happening. Maybe they should temper expectations by saying, hey, it's nothing going to be, we know you love God of War, but you're not going to, we're not have nothing to say about that right now. Maybe they
Still
should
in
temper
production,
expectations. Yeah. But I like this. I thought the State of Play was good. So let's just jump into it. All right. They started off with Crash Bandicoot 4 for the PS5.
This
Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time for the PS5.
They put this in there for you, Dan. They
No,
said, we know that Dan Robinson.
They know Dave is a huge Crash Bandicoot fan.
I love the mascot, and that's about where it begins and ends.
So the PS5 version is coming out March 12th. It'll have a 3D audio support, adaptive triggers, So it's going to be running at 4K, 60 frames per second. That's pretty good. This game, I gotta say, this game is damn hard. I'm at the end. And I'm at the end. I just can't do it. I don't have as a matter of fact, I don't have the muscle memory now to even try to do it now. I would have to redo everything else. I would have to replay this game.
Right.
I just don't have the muscle memory for it.
Yeah, man. It's like old school Nintendo hard, right? You got to just keep doing it till you learn the pattern, and then you're like, boom, I did it. Or you rage quit and break the controller.
It's the Demon Souls of its time, damn it. I'm saying it was terrible. It's hard.
Sure.
This game is hard. It's one of the hardest platformers, I gotta tell you.
Right.
I thought it was good. If you own a PS4, if you own a PS4 version, it's a free upgrade.
That's what I love to hear.
If you don't own the PS4 version, you want to buy the PS5 version, it's going to cost you $70.
Damn. So basically what you're saying is just buy the PS4 version.
Well, if you're a collector and you need that PS5 on the box, I'm assuming it's physical.
Yeah.
Then you're going to pay the $70.
I mean, sure, but for everybody else, just buy the PS4 version and you get the free upgrade, right?
If there is no physical edition, just buy the PS4 version. Just buy the PS4 version. You're right.
Right? That's a loophole to get around that. It's like, wait, why don't I just play the PS4 version? Because it works. It's backwards compatible. You get the free upgrade.
You know what? That is actually a good point. If you're not a collector. If you're not a collector, but if they don't put out a physical edition, what is the incentive for someone to buy it when they can just buy the PS4 version?
Well, I bet in the online store, if you go on PS5 and you're like, I want to play Crash 4, they're only going to present you with the PS5 $70 version, and this is the one you need to buy. Yeah.
Well, that sucks if you have the PS5 digital edition.
I know. But if you have the disc, you can
just go buy a PS4 version. Easy. Yeah. That's an awesome loophole we just found in ninth generation.
There you go. That's pro gamer strats right there. All right.
Next they showed Returnal. We got a release date. Well, it's coming out April 30th. I think that was delayed into April 30th. It was supposed to come out a little bit earlier. This is you have to dash around enemies. It's very important. I mean, this game gave me vibes of like Silent Hill meets Doom because it had some horror vibes to it. But combat, you have to keep moving. You can't just stay here, and it's not a traditional shooter in that sense, right? You have to keep moving.
Right. It's also, if I remember correctly, it's also a roguelike type thing. So there's a kind of die repeat type situation. The game changes a little bit when you end up playing it again. So
every time you die, the whole world changes and enemy placement changes. So
yep.
And Housemarque, which is a damn good They're a good studio. I mean, they did Resogun, and they did.
I love that game.
They did the other game that came out on PS4. I can't think of the name. I played it a couple of weeks ago. I can't even think of the name. I mean, those games are just traditionally. I mean, they're not easy, right? So, and this definitely didn't look like an easy game. But I'm all down for it. April 30th. I'm gonna get it. The game I'm most likely not gonna get unless you convince me to play crossplay is Knockout City.
I'm gonna try and convince you to play crossplay because it looks cool. It's got some Jet Set Radio vibes and it's presentation.
Jet Set Radio meets dodgeball. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. We saw it. Well, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying we saw it at the Nintendo Direct. We got an extended gameplay trailer. In the state of play. So the Nintendo Direct just sort of announced it, right? We didn't really see much gameplay. Actual gameplay, we saw like sort of just a CGI trailer. This we actually saw gameplay, and we know it's coming out May 21st. I don't know if it's coming out on Xbox though. I can't imagine why not, right? I just haven't seen. Maybe Xbox is saving it for their event. So Knockouts, they're really pushing Knockout City.
Yeah,
they're really pushing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, they obviously want it to be they want it to be like a Fortnite kind of, persistent game world type thing, always making changes to it. You can buy costumes and this and that. I don't necessarily think it's going to be free to play. I don't know if they said that, but I think it's going to have a bit of that vibe.
I think it is free to play.
It is, yeah. So it's 100% going to have that. And the car soccer game, I can't think of the name, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'm blanking right now. But anyway, it's 100% gonna have those vibes. Have the you can buy extra outfits and whatever else to keep the game free, which was kind of cool. So yeah, I got to download it and try it. All right, see how it is.
Rocket League. You're thinking of Rocket League.
I am 100% thinking of Rocket League. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's something that I would care for. I mean, I dibbled and dabbled into Destruction All Stars.
Dibbled and dabbled. Yeah.
Dibbled and dabbled and dibbled. Hocus pocus.
Yeah, you didn't say much about it, so I'm assuming you weren't crazy about it.
I mean, the whole point is, destroy. You're ramming into the other person. I did the tutorial and then I got into a match. It was okay. It's not something that's really for me, right? Like I need story elements and stuff. I mean, I guess it's mindless playing, trying to destroy the other person's car, but yeah, not for me. But you know what was for me? You know what is for me? Seafood. Well, seafood, because I love seafood, and Sifu.
Sifu, Sifu. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort
Brand
of like
new
a martial arts fight, game. You're in this hallway and you're trying to fight your way through. It's different. It's cool. That's one thing they didn't say in the state of play that was in sort of the press release is each time a player dies, when they come back slightly older, they're more skilled. So you could tell if a person is good at the game or not, right?
Yeah. That's kind of interesting. It's a little bit similar to how when you leveled up in Fable, you would get more gray hair. You would turn like older every skill point. That's actually super interesting. I'm actually kind of interested to play that. And I think it's fair to note a lot of people were dogging on this press conference, right, or this presentation. Sifu, brand new game, brand new announcement from the state of play. So I got to give them credit there.
Also a new game because I think this is a new game. I don't think I've seen this anywhere else. Solar Ash, right? From the creators of Hyper Light Drifter. The creative director, Alex Preston, sort of described this game as like a 3D adventure platformer that focuses on speed and fluidity, right? It's coming out at some point later this year. It definitely gave me the Pathless sort of vibe, right? The Pathless is all about speed. I mean, it's a PS5 exclusive. It's all about speed and fluidity. You have to keep shooting your arrow to hit these points so you can move faster and faster and faster.
Right. Yeah. We saw that at a Penny Arcade. Yeah.
No, the Pathless? No, we didn't see the Pathless at Penny Arcade.
Maybe I saw that on my own then.
No. The path list was we seen that first time at the state of Sony's like E3, PS5 reveal. Remember
they had some game that had that mechanic at PAX last year. Maybe it was a different game then. That could have been, yeah.
Yeah, so it sort of seems like that with the Hyper Light Drifter sort of aesthetic. I don't know. It's something I have to keep my eye on. I don't know. I wasn't so excited about that game because I'm not the pathless is nice. It's different, but I'm not that crazy because you have to get into a rhythm to keep moving fast. And sometimes I just want to stop and explore. But when something's chasing you, you need to keep that fast pace up. So,
Right.
So that was for me. I need to see more and maybe get to play a demo. Something that I definitely wasn't into was Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Yeah. The Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. That guy's made like no less than 5 games with the same game mechanic. Jump scares.
This is different, right? Because Five Nights at Freddy's, you're legit. I think the whole point was you're looking through security cameras, but here you're like actually walking around or something along those lines. Yeah, it's first person.
It's legit. The OG games are just legit resource management with whatever battery you have, right? Because you're on a generator and you have to open and close doors to like save energy. That also like prevents the creatures from like coming in and jump scaring you and killing you. This is like 3D third person, I think, and you're kind of like sneaking around. So you have to avoid the monsters that are coming at you while you're going through the Freddy Fazbear's jamboree or whatever it is, right? Pizza place or whatever it is. So interesting, yeah. But I think it's going to be a pass from me. I wasn't too crazy about it. I'm not too crazy about Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's all about those jump scares.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. I was never about the original. This one is probably going to be a hard pass from me. So.
Okay, I thought it was first person. So it had like
maybe it is. But I mean it's definitely a different perspective than you were the security guy sitting in the security room, because that's what the other ones were. Yeah.
So we got that. Wasn't too high on that. I am looking forward to the next game, and that was Oddworld Soulstorm. It's coming to PS5, PS4, April 6th. I was all about this game when they first announced it. I mean, it's coming out on Xbox too.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't catch from all the other trailers that we heard last year was they called this game a 2.9D environment transport action platformer.
Yeah. It's a 2.5D game. They're just trying to be cute.
Dave. It's 2.9.
Ah, yes. We have so much stuff going on in the background. It's 0.4D better.
Yeah, you know how in a 2D game where you can jump into the background? Right? Now you can jump into the background of the background.
Oh my God. Can you also jump into the foreground? That's what I want to know.
No, have they gone 3D game?
Ah, yes. Yeah. All the buzzwords aside, it still does look good.
No, it does. And you know the part that I'm looking forward to? You can take control of enemies and have them. You could sacrifice them. If there's like a trap ahead, or you could have them like open up a door for you or something like that. I wonder how that mechanic's going to work. Like, what do you need to do and how long that lasts? I can't imagine. You could take control of an enemy like for a long period of time. It's probably in short bursts, as long as you have like a gauge meter or something along those lines. I'm looking forward to that part. That looks interesting.
Yeah.
Another game. Well, talking about I don't think they call it. This is just the PS5 presentation from last year. I'm just going to call it their E3 presentation.
Sure. Yeah, that's essentially what it was.
Yeah. This game was announced last year, and that was Kenna. Was it Kenna? Bridge of Spirits? So we got a release
which we saw nothing about, other than like a quick little teaser and some interesting animation. Well, so everyone's like, "What is this game?" We don't know, but we're excited.
It's coming out PS4 and PS5, so it's not a PS5 exclusive. August 24th. Everyone thought this would be coming out a little bit earlier, but this is right before the holiday season. So
Right. It's the slow period in the summer, so I'm happy to have something to look forward to around my birthday. So
yeah.
and I mean, I'm digging the art style. It feels very much like a Studio Ghibli or a Pixar movie, right? It's got that really cute aesthetic to it. And
I'm trying to
stay
away from. I want to try to stay away from any big trailers or anything. I want to be sort of surprised because I kind of like this. Like I want to get into this, and I don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah,
So,
fair enough.
A game that doesn't need spoilers because it's got to try to kill your guy. You got to try to kill the target, and not get killed yourself. Is Arcane Studios' Deathloop. We got another trailer, but this trailer was different. This trailer was like in the style of James Bond.
Yep.
So it was like definitely a unique trailer. It didn't get me more hype for this game. It's just just release the game already. Not to mention, we know it's going to be a timed exclusive because now Xbox owns this.
I know.
Well, they got it already.
They got hit with the delay bug, right? Because I think it was supposed to come out at the end of last year, right?
It was. I think it was a launch window title.
Right. So it would have been either December or maybe like January when they had to kind of push it a little bit. But I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait. The hype level is through the roof, and I hope it succeeds. I hope it doesn't fall like Cyberpunk did.
So, talk about games that fall like Cyberpunk. This next game, Cyberpunk wishes it launched. It had the same launch hype and met expectations because who knew I would love a Final Fantasy game?
I'm still amazed by that, Dan. Still amazed.
I know. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It was the one more thing that I wasn't expecting. We're getting to get a free upgrade of Final Fantasy VII Remake for the PS5 with all the bells and whistles, the upgrade bells and whistles, coming out June 10th, and they have extra DLC with extra characters that I know nothing about because I don't know the lore. So I'm gonna rely on you to tell me who this extra character is. 'Cause I've never...
Okay, I will. I'm glad you're handing it over to the Final Fantasy expert over here. So I will don my glasses and tell you that Yuffie, you could get her as early as the end of Disc 1, I think, but she was a hidden character, semi-hidden. Like you could beat the game without Yuffie. So she's like the thief of the game, right? She lives in the town of Wutai, which is like the kind of Asian inspired.
What a name!
Wutai,
what a name for a town.
Yeah, Wutai. It's very Asian inspired, and basically you find her in a forest. She steals all your materia, and then you go chase after her, and then you do the whole thing in the town, and you kind of uncover some stuff, and eventually she joins your party, and she's super awesome. Got a giant pinwheel, and it looks like they're kind of mixing up some stuff because you see her during the events of Midgar, right, when like Avalanche is kind of taking things down and really kind of mixing up with Shinra. Right, and she's like there, and her partner's like, "Oh, do you want to go meet Avalanche?" And she's like, "No, I'm not gonna interrupt what they're doing." So I don't think they're gonna meet, but they're gonna be there during those events, which is like kind of cool. So they're kind of switching it up a little bit. I'm gonna say this is gonna be part 2. They're gonna make it as I'm assuming this is gonna be as big as the first one. So they're gonna shoot for a 40-hour game here. I could be wrong.
DLC is 40. No, I doubt it.
I could be wrong, but I think maybe, and unless they're going to be doing a bunch of these, then maybe if there's a Yuffie one, there's a Vincent one, there's a Sid one, there's a Red 13 one. Hopefully we get to play as him at some point because he was just like an NPC in the last one. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I want to be hopeful and say, 40 hours.
No, I say this is going to be a smaller experience, and this is what I think you're right.
Bursting my bubble.
I think they're going to release just like a bunch of small DLC packs, right? That will cover some of the story that they didn't cover, right? And then afterwards, we're going to get Final Fantasy, Remake Part 2. And that'll be it. Like, it'll be a 50-hour story, or maybe a 40-hour story with little DLC drops afterwards to flush it out. All right?
That's
we'll get the ending. But you're going to say, hey, they missed a couple of story beats, and they're going to get DLC drops to go back,
right,
and say, while you were doing this was happening over here. All right.
That's probably what they're going to do. And they've kind of said that in kind of various press releases and announcements that they did want to do this piecemeal, and that's a way to do it and still keep the game in the zeitgeist and make a ton of money, because it's like, $10 for whatever DLC bit there is, and I'm sure Square is going to like polish that up so much that it's just going to be worth it. You're going to go, yes, I want $10 for this scenario.
Okay, so I we're both excited. They're calling it Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Right, now, does that name mean anything to you? Does that mean anything in the lore? Is that just a made up name they came up with just now?
Yep. Okay. Because
right.
Square loves to do stuff like that.
All right, I was just wondering if the name actually means something in the lore or anything like that. So,
no. It just sounds cool, I think, in their eyes.
All right. So it's overall, I would give this conference a 7
out of 10.
7 out of 10 for Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII. There you go.
I had low expectations anyway, because it's February, folks. It's February.
That's right.
Everybody's gearing up for June, right? The big E3 push. We're just gonna call it E3. I don't care. All of June is E3, even if it's not with the ESRB. Well, the ESA, I should say.
Right.
Yeah, you're not getting any Ragnarok talk. You're not getting any Horizon 2. That's going to be all reserved for June. And think about it. We're getting Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade coming out June 10th. Right? We got Ratchet and Clank coming out, I think, a week later. They're trying to have a big June. I think that's what's going to happen, and they're going to come out with the heavy hitters, right? So I think June is going to be a big month.
Sure.
Well, not just in games, but I think for Sony it's going to be a big month. But the one thing that me and you've talked about, and we said maybe next E3, we know we're not getting, and that's PlayStation VR 2. We know we're not getting an E3 because they've confirmed this in development. Jim Ryan, CEO Jim Ryan of SIE, did an interview with GQ, which is kind of weird that, I guess CEO Jim Ryan's he's going to be in GQ. He's going to be in GQ magazine.
You take what you can get.
So he officially confirmed PSVR 2, but he also said it's not coming out this year. It's not coming out next year. It's going to come out when it's, when it's ready, when they have everything set to go. But he did confirm that it's going to have a very easy, simple setup with a single cord, and they're going to have new VR controllers similar to the DualSense.
One wire. It's as close as you're going to get to no wires, Dan. Which I think is great. Single wire setup, right? As long as there's not an hour worth of setup and a bunch of equipment that would just make anybody pull their hair out, right?
Just give me one wire.
Yeah.
Directly to the PS5.
That's exactly what this is going to be.
I don't want that little box, and it has 3 different HDMI connections, and this connection goes here and here and then to the TV, and this is the bypass unit. No, I don't want any of that. Just give me one wire.
To be fair, V2 got rid of the box. They integrated the box into, I think, the system, right? Or you didn't need it anymore. So they made it a little bit cleaner, and the now is the step further. So it's almost wireless. I was pretty sure that they wouldn't be able to do wireless because you got to be able to maintain a strong connection, right? You can't have any dips. The frame rate can't go down. So you need a bunch of copper in that damn wire. So
listen, the Oculus Go was wireless, and by all accounts, everyone says it's pretty good.
Exactly. It's got to be great, though. It's got to be great. You can't have a pretty good experience.
I just give me no wires. I stand by that. I stand by that. But you know what? The biggest
PSVR 3 will be wireless.
Let's see what the controller looks like. Right?
Yeah.
Like not recycled Move controllers from the PS3 era. Let's see what the controllers look like.
Right. I'm curious how the tracking is all going to work, right? Because the way the PS4 one works is the balls on the sticks, right? That's how it tracks it, right? It puts a different color on there and goes, here's where it is in the room. And it's the same with the controller. The controller has the light bar in the front, which it knows where the controller is, so it can kind of coordinate in the game, right? So if you move it too far in one direction, it can't find the thing anymore. It doesn't know where it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how they're going to do this. I mean, that would make sense. Remember the PS4, now I almost said DualShock 4s. Well, I almost said the Dual Sensor 4s.
Yeah.
DualShock 4s had that light bar in the front.
Yeah.
Which sort of did the same thing with the PSVR, right? So we don't have that on the DualSense.
I know.
So it's kind of curious. Are we going to be able? Can we use a DualSense with the PSVR 2, or we have to use his new VR controllers?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Something that happened right after we recorded last week's show was BlizzCon.
BlizzCon 2021.
Yeah, they had a virtual BlizzCon. I didn't see any real big negatives. I think people sort of enjoyed it. You know, like I'm not a big BlizzCon person, but they did do some announcements that affected, that I'm looking forward to. They announced Blizzard Arcade Collection.
Right. Throwback games that were released on the PC and Super Nintendo. People forget that Blizzard used to make console games way back in the day before they almost exclusively went PC for a long period of time. So Lost Vikings, fantastic.
This is out though, right? I think this is out now.
Yeah, they do have this out. It's Lost Vikings, Blackthorn, and Rock and Roll Racing, which
oh my god, wow.
All fantastic games, right? Lost Vikings is a puzzle action game where you play as Vikings who get tossed into the future, which is kind of funny. Blackthorn is also a puzzle action game, but you play as a single dude who kind of looks like Lorenzo Lamas from Renegade.
Yes, wow. We're
got the jeans and the leather jacket and the long curly hair.
Yeah, we're old. We're talking.
I know. I was 95. Come on now. Wow. And Rock and Roll Racing, which notable, it was a 3/4 racing game, like in the style of RC Pro-Am, but it did have dips and jumps. And they had, I guess, MIDI or synth versions of rock and roll music. They legit had a version of one of the songs by Led Zeppelin. And I think Alice Cooper and AC/DC, there was a good 6-7 MIDI versions of those songs. And they were super cool. I don't know how they did that or how they worked the licensing out and whatnot. I think that's all still in the game. So, yeah, curious about that.
Well, they announced a bunch of patches and expansions. I mean, they got a World of Warcraft Shadowlands patch 9.1, World of Warcraft The Burning Crusades classic expansion. And
right.
I know Mike, friend of the show, big WoW player, and he's probably ecstatic for that because he's a PC nerd.
I mean, I used to play WoW, but I stopped after the after the second expansion, the Frozen Throne. Yeah. So I love it. And I love that Mike is still playing it, but you get into it, man. That's the thing. You get into it, and you get real into it. And
when did WoW first come out?
2004.
Okay, so it's been out. It's almost 20 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we were at Circuit City.
No pun intended. Wow.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
But the biggest news to come out of BlizzCon was Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Yep. So we all knew this was coming. And fantastic. This was the event of the show. I think, right? We got another trailer for Diablo 4, which is cool, but that's not going to be out for another year or two. The Diablo 2 Resurrected, the best game objectively in the series. Granted, there's only 3, but the first one was good. Part 2, infinitely better in every single way. And part 3, people had problems with, right? People still played it. It still did well, but the auction house was trash. It was a mess. And a lot of people had complaints about the art style. It was a little too colorful. I thought it was cool. I know I got what they were going for. But the other big thing is the gameplay. Gameplay wasn't good. The gameplay, not that it wasn't good, but they kind of boiled it down to like 3 main stats. So it was like, your DPS, your overall damage, and something else. I forget what the 3 stats are, but essentially every single weapon gets boiled down. Every single piece of armor gets boiled down to these 3 main stats. And that's all you care about, right? Is this number bigger than the other number? Okay, I'm going to swap this out. So there wasn't a lot of unique items, not a lot of customization, right? So you almost always would go for the better item, right? In Diablo 2, there was some stuff that was like super unique. It had this weird attribute to it, and it was very important, or you thought it was really cool, right? I'm going to keep this thing around because it's like unique. So it made the loot a little more special, especially the late game stuff, among other things, right? So yeah, I am hyped for this, but I'm also very cautious because what they did with Warcraft 3 Reforged, nope, they messed up big time on that, and fans were pissed.
Well, let me ask you a question: did they announce is this coming to console, or is
that's a good question. I'm actually not sure because it was a PC only game. It was a PC only game.
I mean, that would be cool if they actually bring this to console, like maybe next gen, right? PS5, Series X, or even Switch, right? This is a good game that you put on the Switch. So,
according to The Verge, it looks like it is console and PC.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it'll be on Switch, PS4, PS5, Series S and X, and cross progression between PC and console. So that's kind of awesome.
All right. You know what's not awesome? Mm-hmm. When games get canceled. And it looks like Anthem 2.0 or Anthem Next has officially been canceled. Now this comes by way of Christian Daly, the head of the Anthem reboot project. Mm-hmm. He announced that they're going to shift focus and shift the team away from that, and they'll be using all their dedicated resources towards Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and Star Wars: The Old Republic. So our Iron Man simulator is officially no more. Rest in peace. Mm-hmm. Anthem may be the most disappointing game of last generation.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Rage 2 I think is also kind of high up there, but
no, Rage 2. Rage didn't have the hype.
I don't know. They got Andrew WK to be on stage for their presentation. That's pretty big.
I know, but the overall hype I think was definitely better for Anthem.
Oh yeah,
Anthem was their big game of last generation.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be the big game of last generation. It came out with a thud. I mean, it was Cyberpunk before Cyberpunk, right? Because people were so angry and they wanted refunds.
I know.
On this game. And we both waited until the game was like $15.
Yeah, I got it for $5. I got it for $5.
There you go. Okay, well,
I'm very, very happy about that. Yeah. It's crazy. I got my discounted right away. So I mean, what are your thoughts on this news? Because Anthem, I mean, if they were still working on it, could be something good. Do you think this is the right move, or?
I think this is what you do. Anthem, even if the new Anthem or Anthem 2 or Anthem Next was everything we wanted, it still had that negative, stigma attached to it because it's named Anthem, right? So we need to get away from that. And the only way to do that is to cancel it now get everybody's mind share away from it, shift resources into games that you know need to be a hit, like Dragon Age, whatever the new Mass Effect game is, and you know, Star Wars: The Old Republic, because you got that Star Wars license you got to work on, right? And then later on, come out with a game, Anthem 2, but don't call it Anthem 2. Just reboot it. Just call it something totally different.
Right. Call it Iron Man Simulator.
You know what? Yeah, I was just about to say you have
just call it Iron Man Simulator. Call it what it is. Call it what it should have been.
Make it an Iron Man game. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. You know, I think you're right. And you did also mention Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and Star Wars: The Old Republic, which are all AAA games that require big teams and full studio effort. So I don't, you know, especially since, like, this is BioWare, right? They had problems with the latest Mass Effect Andromeda. They obviously had problems before this with Anthem, right? They gotta get these next releases right. Otherwise, there may not be BioWare anymore. So,
yep. Well, you know what? We know BioWare may be on the outs. If they put out one more thud,
that could
EA
be it.
May just sink
Cannibalize them.
Yeah. We already know about Stadia, right? Stadia, we're not going to get any first party games from Stadia. But I totally forgot about Amazon Luna. We don't hear anything about that. And that's their streaming service that's in early access. It's $5.99 a month.
Oh,
you can play
yeah.
a handful of games, like Sonic Mania. I mean, why would you want to play Sonic? Why would you want to stream Sonic Mania? But that's, I digress. Silently, Mark Whitten, who was the vice president, he just left. He left and took a new position at Unity Creates.
Okay.
Mark Whitten, if you don't know who he is, he worked with Microsoft from 1997 to 2014. He helped, with the brand of Xbox, including the 360 during the 360 year. So he is the guy that's in the industry that knows what he's doing. And it was a big catch for Amazon to get somebody like him for their streaming service. But he quietly left, which is kind of weird. That gives me, that gives
you pause
to think about, like, the future of Luna, right?
Well, we already had, like, questions considering how great Stadia did, all right? And we all know just because you have a ton of money doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to create a game's platform, service, console, whatever.
I mean, that's true. And they have a ton of money. And now that Jeff Bezos is stepping down, we said that there were issues with the president of Amazon Gaming, right, with their first party studios, because he has no idea what he's doing. He's just a regular, businessman. He's not an industry guy. He just thinks, whatever's happening right now, whatever, give me a next Fortnite. All my games need to be $1 billion games. That's just not how it works.
No, it takes time. It takes time.
And now Mark Whitten's leaving or left. It just shows that it's not easy, right? Like Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony make it look easy, but it's not easy.
No. They've also all been in the game for 20 plus years. That helps.
Yeah, but think about it. When Microsoft first got into the game, you got into the industry, they made it look easy, right? Like Sony also made it look easy, but it's not easy.
Yeah, no.
You need much more than just money. You need the right people involved. You need to have a good strategy, right? You need to be a student of the game and see what worked, what didn't work, and what may work in the future. Sure.
I mean, Whitten was a good get, based on his prior pedigree. He's got a good CV, right? So I mean, I think they tried, but he probably saw the writing on the wall and said,
Yeah, there probably was some disagreements on what to do. On how to move, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, well, speaking of people leaving, it looks like Jim Bell, CFO of GameStop, resigns. not only resigns, the man gets to resign and get a $2.8 million severance package.
Wow. That parachute is lined with diamonds. Jesus. It's ridiculous.
Well, okay, because he resigned on quote unquote good terms, according to which is per his contract.
Okay,
he receives a severance. The man he made $700,000 a year,
Jesus.
Average salary with $50,000 bonuses. So he made triple that amount by leaving. That's crazy.
I think we see part of the reason why GameStop is failing.
Yes. Yes.
They have $700,000 to spend on these C-suite employees. I don't think so.
Dave, what if you can get as a severance package, triple your salary if you actually left your job?
You know what? I think
tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I would quit tomorrow, build my damn roof deck, and go. I'm good. I'm just going to invest my money and spend wisely, and I'm good. I'm done.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
That is crazy. $2.8 million in severance. Think about all the copies of Little Samson you could buy.
Oh yeah. Oh, screw that. Okay, listen. Think of all the sealed original copies of Mario you could buy.
Oh yeah, true. I
wouldn't need 5 other collectors to partner up with to buy it.
There you go. Stadium events, get an NWC gold and gray cart. You might as well get 2 at that point, and you'd still have money to spare.
Screw all that. I'm just gonna buy a Nintendo Video Games New York, and everything they have is in my collection now.
There you go.
There it is. Oh, so, all right. Let's end the news with a friend of the show, because we always talk about him, or we used to always talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Soulja Boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's back in the news. He's back at it again. He's making, coming soon, Soulja Boy games. Well, Soulja Game.
Oh my God.
It's a system that looks like an Xbox Series X with a PS2 controller.
Oh my God.
Hey, at least it's not Nintendo sort of knockoff, right? It's not a Nintendo knockoff.
It's an Xbox knockoff with a PlayStation controller knockoff.
Wait. Dave, we've always said, right? If we wanted to have the monster console, right? Or a master console, we wanted Sony to design the console.
Right.
We wanted Microsoft to have the UI.
Right.
And we wanted Nintendo to make the first party games. That's
right. Is that what you're saying? Is this the ultimate?
We could be getting a knockoff of the master console.
Is this the Voltron of home consoles? Oh my God.
It could be, and we just needed Soulja Boy to make it. Who knew? He can kill the console wars and bring everyone together.
Oh my God. The peace will be brought to the galaxy.
Yes.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and predict right now. This is a prediction that's gonna come 100% true. So I'm just a soothsayer. I can guarantee you there's gonna be a ton of off-the-shelf emulators, and there's gonna be a ton of illegal ROMs on this thing, and maybe it'll have HDMI output, probably 720p, and there's your console. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, you know what? Look, he's hitting all pillars, right? It looks like an Xbox with a PS controller, and it's gonna play Mario. So
yeah. Wow. So I'm gonna ask the dumbest question ever. Are you gonna get this system?
Hell no.
But why, Dad? It's gonna be a unique experience from your favorite rapper, Soulja Boy. Tell him.
How about this? How about we reach out for him and get a review unit?
Oh my God! I bet we could get one. I bet we can get one. Oh my God! So. I'm actually curious to see, but it's probably going to be terrible.
All right. Well, that ends the news. No more news. Dave, before we end the show, you gonna have any good weekend plans coming up?
Yeah. I gotta plan out my deck, Dan. Okay. I love doing home design. I like it. I found this little. Found this
Tim Allen Rotino.
Thank you. I found this 3D editor program or whatever, a nice little top-down thing, and you can kind of build out some stuff. And they have a bunch of deck tool options, so I put this thing together, and it's looking pretty good. So I may be maybe slowing up on the game purchases to make the little outdoor area, because I'm spending money on this flat roof that I can't use. So let's go ahead and put a deck out there. So that's what I'm going to be diving into. How about you?
Sacrifice now so you can enjoy it later, right? Like
that's exactly right.
Right now, next gen or current gen, right? It's just not worth it, right? There are not enough unique experiences. So
you can't even get I can't even get a PS5 without selling a lung, and I kind of need my lungs. I'm not about to spend $800 on a whole entire thing, and that's not even guaranteed. You have to hustle, right? You hustle to get your $800 bundle or whatever. And if I wasn't building the deck, sure, I would probably go for that instead. But yeah, man, I'm a wait.
Well, I want to see if I can. I'm never gonna finish Persona 5 Strikers. I'm only 10 days in. Right? Like God knows, it's probably 10 years worth of work to beat that game. But I'm gonna start chucking away, playing that. I'm still looking to see what game we're gonna play for Saturday morning retro show, right? Play some old games. Maybe I'll even get back into Spider-Man on the PS1. I mean, speaking of Spider-Man, did you see they announced the Spider-Man 3, the official name for it? It's gonna be Spider-Man and No Way Home.
Is that true? Because
yes.
I've been seeing a ton of subtitles for this thing.
No. So originally, the day before the announcement, they announced different possible names, which was a play off of Home.
Yeah.
And then the next day, they officially dropped it. It's going to be Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay, so it's not going to be Spider-Man Phone Home.
No.
or it's not going to be Spider-Man even further away from home.
No. That was a play off for ET that they did Phone Home. No, it's going to be No Way Home.
And you're saying it's definitely not going to be Spider-Man Home Slice.
I kind of liked Home Slice, but no, it's not going to be that.
Yeah, that was super interesting. Yeah. Well, also, go ahead.
I just want to know if it's. I mean, they say if you want to get into the continuity, you got to see WandaVision.
I was just going to say, you got to get on
into that. Yeah, like it all ties in together. It's coming out Christmas of this year. It's coming out Christmas this year.
Yeah. So, good stuff.
I want to know. I just, we know we're going to get the multiverse. We already know we're getting villains and other Spider-Mans. So, will we see an X-Men? That would be great.
I know.
Pop up.
We shall see. We shall see.
Who knows? But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna it's raining. It's raining. It's gonna be a rainy weekend. So I'm just gonna play some old school games.
Yep. So all right. Well, that ends episode 259. That is in the books, folks. And I want to thank you guys for listening to the show and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.